had everything set up to go live and it just wouldn't let me go live. So I had to just cancel it out and start it over again. But here we are on both. So if you're seeing me looking up there, it's because I have TikTok running as well. And I do have some notes for what I'm going to cover today because I want to make sure that certain things like affirmations and stuff, you know, I want to make sure that I have some really good ones written down. So before we get started, I just wanted to do a little bit of catching up. So we have our Golden Sunbeam, the Light Inside You book. It's there's the second book that's come out in that series called Starlight Whispers that's available. I also have this beautiful series called the Unlikely Heroine Chronicles, and 2 books were released on the first day of spring, or March 20th, and they are Tiana the Goblin Slayer and Parisa Befriends the Pixies. And these are a beautiful set of books that would be great for girls or boys, but around the probably 4 to 10 or 12, 4 to 10 or 12 age range. And we have the Jack and Nanny Bee. So I have a lot of books available, but I have them under 2 different names because I have one name, Tanya Baldwin, that I go by all the time, but I have another name that I use as well, and it's Sharia and Lorian. And so the Sharia and Lorian is a name that I use when I published this particular series under the Luminous Soul series. But these books here are published under Tanya Baldwin. So good morning. How are you? How are you, Morichi? Buenos dias. We are having a lovely day today. Look at the sunshine. It's so nice because in Ontario we just had a bunch of terrible weather. We had a lot of ice and freezing rain, and it took down a lot of trees, which was really sad. Sad to see. So today we're going to talk about a few things, but I do have a really cool show planned for us today and what we're going to cover. And so let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm going to make a little change on I'm using that TikTok studio thing. So I'm going to just make a little move on that before we get going. Alrighty. So this one here, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about thought forms. So what are thought forms and how are they created? And how do these thought forms become entities, tulpas, and energetic parasites? Plus the role of collective mind in shaping reality, personal and planetary, as well as how to clear, transmute, and reclaim power from invasive or looping thought forms. So this is a powerful thing, and we always start off every session that we do with an opening energy alignment. Tea. It's nice and hot right now. Okay, so we're going to get into a position that we can do a little guided process. An energy alignment is what we're going to do. So we're going to begin, and what I want you to do is just make sure that your phone can be put into a good place or a good position, and you're going to make sure that you're in a safe position so that you shouldn't doze off. It's not a lengthy meditation or anything like that. It's literally 5-minute process. But just in case, hello Janelle, just in case, just make sure, like I said, that your phone's in a good space and you're not driving. Please don't do this while you're driving. If you are driving, don't close your eyes. Please don't close your eyes. All right. And thank you for the likes. The likes do help. When you tap on the screen on TikTok and you give the likes, what it does is the more likes that you have, the more that it positions you in the live stream. So when people are searching through the lives, so all likes, they do help. Same thing with comments. So if you're commenting on the live, that also helps to position the live better. Good morning, Divine Timing. How are you, love? So today is a big day for me because I also start Bridge to Light Phase 1 starts today with the first session. So if you missed getting into the live, you'll have to wait. There's possibility that you could join the live right now, but I won't hold the door open too late because it's just really important that you're following through with each of the sessions. With the Bridge to Light Phase 1, this is a way for you to work through trauma, mental health, shadow, and get yourself into alignment, moving out of victim consciousness. And That's okay. That's okay. It's understandable. And so with this, the recorded version will be made available, which isn't as great as obviously a live session, because then you have the ability to interact with me and have questions answered and stuff like that. So there's a little less support when you're doing the course as a recorded course. But as a recorded course, it's also much cheaper than having me sit in session with you. So there's bonuses to each. So the self-paced one that will be available, it'll be available in 6 weeks on the site. So it's not going to be ready until I'm done recording it for the live sessions that I'm doing starting today. So it is a 6-week course, 12 sessions. You get a journal full of prompts to guide you along the way. So each week has journal prompts that coincide with each of the sessions. And it's really, really powerful. You can find out more information on my website, which has changed. Everything has changed from Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy. I'm switching over to Anshara'El in honor of the change of the company. And there is some single sessions or solo sessions that I have there. They're called soul alignments. If you go and look at them, there is one that's a trauma shadow session. So if you want something like that, I'm only offering it until June. Once I get to June, I'm phasing out of working directly one-to-one in trauma and going to be working with those who are on their path of ascension. And so that's the just some housekeeping, I guess, for the company. So we're just about ready to get started on this beautiful session about thought forms and how we can protect ourselves. But we're going to start with our beautiful opening energy alignment. So as I had mentioned a moment ago, make sure that your device is safe, you're safe, and you can close your eyes. And if you can close your eyes, perfect. Let's get started. So bring your awareness to your body. Okay, so we're going to close your eyes and bring your awareness into your body. And we're just going to slow and deepen our breath, right? So we want to make sure that when we're breathing in, we're breathing in through the nose and that we're bringing it down into the belly. We don't want to be breathing up high, which is what many of us are doing throughout the day, as we're breathing more in our chest and not into our tummy. So we want to be bringing it into our tummy, and we want to make sure there's a nice full breath that starts down in the tummy, comes up into the chest, and then pops the collarbones. When we're exhaling, we want to make sure that it's a really long, slow exhale. And as you're exhaling, you can exhale through your nose or your mouth. And when you're doing it through the mouth, like a pursed lips, like you're blowing out candles. When you're blowing out the air, I want you to just sink into the space that comes up, right? So it's that nice, deep breath in, all the way to the top, and then the exhale. And many of us don't recognize how valuable and how powerful our breath is. We think about our breath in the context of life, in that as I'm breathing, I know I'm living, right? And the absence of breath would at some point lead to the absence of life. But your breath is way more than that. Your breath is actually one of the most powerful tools you can have in helping you with anything emotional, or even in your ascension process. So allowing yourself to deepen and slow down your breathing is like putting a brake on when you're dealing with some emotional distress. So we're going to take these beautiful breaths in through our nose, exhaling slowly through the mouth. With each exhale, we want to let those looping thoughts, stress, and mental noise dissolve. So in, and just as you exhale, you're exhaling distortion. As you inhale, you're inhaling peace. Exhaling distortion, okay? So keep that rhythm in mind as you're breathing in and out as I take you through this guided session. So the next thing I want you to do is see a cord, or many cords is how I like to visualize it. Like you're growing roots out from the bottom of you, which could be the feet that are touching the ground, or it could be your bottom if you're like me, sitting cross-legged on the floor. Whatever the surface is that's contacting with the ground or the floor, that is where you're going to visualize the roots coming from. So as these roots come out, there's many of these energetic roots. And the small ones all spread out far and wide, and they connect in with all the roots that exist from the trees and the mushrooms and the plants and everything that's out there. And you connect into that mycelium network. But there's a tap root, just like in a tree, there's a larger, thicker, more formed energetic cord that comes out. And that bigger cord is the one that we're going to send all the way down into the earth to Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. And when it gets all the way down there, we're going to wrap around the heart, connecting into Mother Gaia, and give yourself a little tug to make sure that you're firmly grounded. Now you're going to bring your attention to your mental body. Okay, that's your head. Those are the thoughts, all those buzzing thoughts and the noise and the chatter that's going on in there. And as you see that space around your head clouded with that buzzy or static energy, imagine this beautiful golden flame igniting above the crown. So see it about 6 inches above your head, this beautiful golden violet flame igniting, and it's going to come down over your body and cascade through your mental space, cleansing and clearing and removing all of those distortions and those thought loops. Okay, bringing clarity. This flame moves through the crown, through the third eye, and it keeps burning away all of those cloudy thoughts, the mental interference, those hooks and projections, and the looping thought patterns. So it's going to keep cleansing that from your field. As it goes down, it goes to your third eye and goes down all the way to your throat. Now visualize this beautiful crystalline grid forming around your head, around that mental space. And this beautiful crystalline grid, this is your divine mind matrix. And it begins to pulse with these beautiful light codes, syncing you with clarity, stillness, and inner truth. So allow this to just be in place and receive what you need to receive. And we're just going to speak aloud or internally. I now invoke the clarity of my oversoul. I call forth my divine mind. All thought forms not in alignment with my original blueprint are now dissolved. I stand in mental sovereignty. So take a nice breath in. After saying that, feel yourself ground into the earth and then release. Now that you've done that, your mind is yours again. And your thoughts are calm. And you're able to return to this moment and move through your day with clarity and peace. And anytime that you want, you can always come back, and these recordings are on my YouTube channel, and you can always rewatch it and do a little clearing, mind clearing, and sync yourself in again. Okay, bringing in that clarity. All right, so we're going to talk about thought forms, and yeah, we're going to talk about thought forms. We're going to talk about thought forms and a whole bunch of other stuff, but we're going to start with thought forms. So what is the origins of these thought forms? So every thought that we have generates a subtle vibrational echo that exists within the quantum field. And if you haven't been here before, we do talk about things like the quantum field, and we talk about things like the divine matrix, and we talk about things like prime source. So if that's not something that resonates with you, then you can, that's we won't resonate with you then. We won't resonate with you here. So when the thought is repeated, especially with emotional charge such as fear, desire, shame, or love, it gains mass and it begins to imprint in the energetic body and environment. So when you're thinking in terms of lack, or when you're thinking about things that are going wrong in your life and you're repeating that looping pattern of, oh my God, what am I going to do? How is this? And whatever else that's going along with it, or oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me with my partner, or this job, anything that you're holding on to, that continuous thought patterns that are looping, they get bigger. They're just creating more emotional charge, more mass within your field. And I talk about this before in the sense of we're all keyed into this whole manifesting, right? And yet you're manifesting every moment of the day. Manifesting isn't really anything, special. We look at it as, ooh, if I manifest, maybe I can manifest money, or maybe I can manifest something that will allow me to remove whatever it is that I don't like within my life, or to improve my life in some way because there's something external to me. I want to manifest my partner, I want to manifest money, or I want to manifest the perfect job, I want to manifest the perfect house. Every day, though, we are manifesting. It's just whether we're consciously aware of it or unconscious. And most of us are unconscious about it. We're not aware of how much our thoughts are affecting our field, or how much our emotions are charging those thoughts, or how much the stuff that we're doing throughout the day either supports the direction that we want to go in, or is supporting the stuff that we actually don't want to see. So these imprints can become semi-autonomous structures, continuing to affect the thinker or attach to others, even without conscious awareness. So as I continue in my space, and we see this, right, where I'm, say, being negative, and then I'm around other people, and next thing you know, they're being negative as well, and it kind of spreads, right? And sometimes we do that to ourselves because we do things like gossip and trash people, and then we get other people and pitchfork mentality to also coincide with, I have this belief system, or I have this viewpoint on somebody, so I'm going to get you to agree with me that person, or I'm going to get you to attack that person with me, or I'm at least going to get you in here so we can have a conversation and keep expanding that energy. So as I'm in my state and my thoughts are repeatedly going around in my head, and I'm in that negative space, I'm creating that mass. When I go with somebody else and I start sharing that, I'm sharing that mass with them without being consciously aware that that's what I'm doing. So parasites or programs. Thought forms that arise from that collective trauma or religious programming, ancestral beliefs, or mass media often become unconscious energetic entities. So we actually grow them as a collective. Right? If we're all sitting there thinking it's the end of the world, it's the end of the world, it's doom and gloom, and we're creating that thought form, we're creating that mass, we're adding that energy, right? So we're becoming, and that becomes an energetic entity. So we don't want to be paying into that. Hi Miranda, how are you, love? So over time, like these things, these energetic, these are not conscious beings. Let's put it that way. The entities that get created through the consistency of upholding the same thought patterns and adding that emotionally charged energy to it, like fear, desire, shame, etc. They are creating these energetic constructs that loop through the fields, and they feed off that emotional energy. And over time, they can become sentient-like, where they're drawing energy and replicating it. And this is the root of many fear tulpas or guilt patterns and shame fields that get passed down through generations. So we want to be careful what we're doing with that. So it's really important to be aware of what are you thinking, and how are you moving through your life? What are your emotions that are attaching to those thoughts that you're having? And if it's really charged energy, like fear is a very charged energy, then it's going to be making that mass bigger quite easily, right? And especially the more that we loop it. And if it's a collective thing, then it creates that mass en masse collectively. So we want to be really careful about that. So hijacked manifestation. If left unchecked, the fact that we are having these fear or these emotionally charged thoughts repeatedly being looped that create those energies or entities, if you want to call them, if unchecked, they can actually override conscious intentions. So you might have the intention of, I want abundance, I desire abundance. But if you carry a hidden thought form that's rooted in fear or lack or unworthiness, that thought form manifests scarcity despite your external efforts. So this is why, that whole manifesting isn't going to work until you resolve the underlying concerns or the underlying issues or the underlying fears, or disorganized or the really untrue thought patterns that we have, right? That we've picked up through our traumas or through, other stuff. So the thought form that manifests scarcity despite those external efforts, these are things that we can work through, but we have to understand the underlying thought programming or the sub-programming that we're running of whether it's unworthiness, not deserving, unable to receive, you know, have ideas about how the world operates that limit us from receiving what we're meant to receive, right? If we believe that, you know, it's only certain people can have that, if you look a certain way, you get that, if you come from a certain family, if you have money, if you like, we have all these concepts or these belief systems, and those belief systems are what end up creating that disconnect from who we truly are. So by recognizing and clearing these unseen frequencies, manifestation becomes coherent and aligned with divine will, which is really, really powerful. Hi, Miranda. I said hi to you last time, but you keep popping in and then popping on by. That's okay. All right, so we're going to do another little guided script thing. So this is a crystalline clarity practice is what it is. So if you're interested in doing this, follow along with me. I have to keep my eyes on what I've written down as the script because there is a part where there is some affirmation that you're going to need to speak. All right, so close your eyes. All right, if you're in a safe space to do so, close your eyes. And again, we're going to visualize that our head is surrounded by that beautiful violet gold flame again. And with every breath that we take, this flame is going to dissolve that mental clutter, the hooks, the loops, and the cords. Okay, so we're going to allow that mental flame, that golden violet flame that's around our head. So just see it as this ball of fire that's around your entire cranium. Allow that to just burn off any of that energy that exists there, those thoughts that are looping or those mental constructs that are not aligned with your truth. Now, as we bring our eye to the third eye, again, we're going to see that beautiful crystalline sphere forming, right? And it forms from the third eye and it spreads outwards. This is pure, sharp, illuminated clarity that we're bringing in, and we're creating that frame around us. So we have that beautiful frame around our mental body of this clarity, this alignment with our truth. So from this space, it's Andrian, but from this space where the sphere is and where we're sitting within our, connected to ourselves, we are going to speak this command. Okay, so all thought forms, not of my original design, now all thought forms not of my divine origin now dissolve. I reclaim my mind in full. I choose clarity, purity, and truth. So as we say that, see this beautiful crystalline sphere that's around your head that you've created through this process. See that pulsing, emitting little light, emitting light, 1111, emitting light. And as this pulse of light goes through your mental body, each one of them is dissolving the distortions in your thought field, and it's restoring that harmonic coherence. So allow that pulse to happen through that beautiful crystalline matrix that you created through your third eye to encompass that beautiful mental body of yours. Feel the entire mental body begin to glow with clarity. Feel yourself being in that crystal clear space, connected to your divine truth. Free from distortion. Free from collective distortion. Not just your distortion, but collective distortion. As you're doing this, you're going to witness those foreign or looping patterns lift away like mist returning to source. So there's this beautiful mist that's rising and heading towards prime source where it can be transmuted. In the place with where that mist has left, where all those distortions and thought loops, all those subconscious programmings that are not aligned, in their place is stillness, silence. sovereignty. And you're going to affirm, I am the master of my thoughts. I am the architect of my reality. I choose to think with divine precision and love. Allow that to settle into every space within your body, not just your mental body, but allow that to be grounded in and through every space, your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, etheric, all of your bodies. And then take a nice breath in and out. And come back in clarity. Come back in clarity. Hi, Zandri, and I can talk a little better now. I'm like in the middle of that. Hello. So I do appreciate anyone who's tapping on TikTok, giving it that giving it that little boost, because it does help. And as well, anyone that's added likes on here. The comments help as well, so I do appreciate you. Alrighty, so energy recalibration. How do I know if I'm being affected by thought forms? 1, you may notice looping thoughts, repetitive emotional triggers, or feeling like something is off in your thinking that doesn't align with your soul truth. These patterns can often feel intrusive, distorted, or unusually persistent, and are frequently accompanied by a drain in energy or fogginess in the mental field. Okay, so that's how you know. Just look for those things within your field. Can others' thought forms live in my space? Yes, especially if you are energetically open, empathic, or haven't set clear energetic boundaries. So it's important to have good energetic boundaries as well as physical boundaries, right? There are some people that you don't even want within 6 feet of you because that's entering into your energetic space, and you honor that, right? And your boundaries are important, but we are in this weird space of thinking that we have to honor everybody in our lives. We have to keep them no matter what, and especially if they're family, you have to have them in your life forever. So you go around people who make you feel like crap, who tear you down, who make you doubt your worth and stuff like that. I'll talk about that in a minute, Cheryl. So what happens with thought forms? I was still talking about, can others' thought forms live in my space? So thought forms can be unintentionally projected into your field during conversations, through arguments or energetic exchanges, and may linger if they're not cleared regularly, right? So that's huge. And the biggest thing first with any of those energy vampires and narcissists is to have clear physical boundaries, right? There are people in your life that are just not meant to be in your inner circle. And even if we're looking at family, right, you have to make a decision. Does this person make me feel good, or at least not make me feel bad? And if this person is making me feel less than, if this person's making me question who I am, if this person, is abusive to me, or is toxic to me, is manipulative, is lying, they're just not meant for me, and I have to be willing to release them. And we'll talk a little bit more about energetic boundaries. Okay, so what happens to thought forms after we forget them? So thought forms that are not consciously dissolved often remain in the energetic field, floating within your auric space or attaching to places where there is a vibrational match. They may be reactivated by familiar triggers or passed down generationally unless consciously cleared. So we have to consciously release the thought forms that are looping through our mind. So if you're stuck in a pattern of lack, and every time you're looking out there, you're like in fear, there's not enough, it doesn't come to you. You have to understand that thought form that's occurring and release that and know that that's not your truth, right? It's creating your truth because you're buying into it, so you are creating that. But when you recognize it for what it is, that it's false, and you align yourself with the truth and then release that thought form, then that gets cleared. Otherwise, it can just be sitting there, and that's why years later or months later or whatever, it will come around, and next thing you know, you are thinking about the same thought, pattern spiraling around in you because you picked it up again because there was another familiar situation. And one of the things I'll talk about right now, because Cheryl had put it up there about having a toxic family, and I touched in on that a little bit anyway. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And when we look at the human experience that we're having, we agreed through before we came here to have these experiences, and we agreed with certain people that they were going to be catalysts in our lives, and that they were going to help us to grow, they were going to help us evolve, they were going to help us connect with our truth, they were meant to create something, they were going to allow us to experience forgiveness or things like that. But they're not your family, if you want to put it that way. And we look at, this person is in my life, my dad, right? I've released my dad. He's somebody who was a catalyst in my life. He did very terrible things to me when he was in my life. I hold no ill will against him. I hope that he heals. I hope that he awakes. I hope that everything goes well for him. But for me, he is not welcome in my life because of what he has done to me and the fact that he has not healed. So that's just having good boundaries, right? Now, if it's an energetic boundary, right? If it's you creating the shields around yourself, it's you calling your energy back to yourself. So if we're sitting there and you feel like somebody is constantly sending energy your way, you can ask and get yourself into state. So take 3 nice breaths in, get yourself centered into your body, and then you're going to ask with that individual, you're going to ask to be shown any ties, any cords that tie you to that particular individual. When you see those cords that are attaching you to one individual, do one individual at a time until you can do it more, but start with one. See the cords that are attaching you to them, and you're going to call on Archangel Michael and his sword of light. And you're going to use that sword of light to cut those cords. And once you cut them, you're going to seal yourself in this beautiful divine light. So you're calling on prime source. You're calling on the source of all creation. And you're allowing that to seal your field. Okay, so it's a matter of filling those spaces because we don't want any energetic openings, right? So it's about sealing those spaces. You can also see around you this beautiful orb that's protecting you, and you can see it in golden light, and you can reinforce the boundaries of that. You can also add in other things like seeing mirrors around the outside of it, and those mirrors that you place on the outside of that orb that extends around your 6 to 9 foot auric field. When you see those mirrors, you're not setting them to put anything back at them. It's just merely whatever gets sent is reflected back to the sender. You're not increasing it, you're not altering it, you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything to it, but not allowing it to enter your field. So that's an energetic that's how you do your energetic boundaries, and doing that. The other thing is calling your energy back to you, so that you have all of your energy with you and it's not attached into places or it's not out there in spaces it shouldn't be. Okay, so that's one of the ways to do it. So can thought forms be positive? Absolutely, with intention and clarity though. So thought forms created through love, faith, creativity, and divine alignment can uplift and inspire and heal. Okay, when infused with intention, these conscious constructs support growth, abundance, and unity. They become crystalline allies aligned with your oversoul and divine will. So we talk about affirmations and repeating affirmations and repeating them and repeating them. That's a thought form that you're repeating. You have to be making that affirmation while also acknowledging if whatever's blocking you and removing that. So if you have the concept of I'm not worthy, you can be saying I'm worthy repetitively and it will have an effect, but until you resolve what it is that you think why you think you're unworthy, unless you get to the root cause of that thought form is going to keep getting recreated, or it's going to have the potential to pull you back in, right? We have to get to the cause and clear it, not just talk and in the hopes that it will go away. right? So there is a process for that, and that's what many people miss out on. And unfortunately, with things like The Secret and all the other things talking about manifestation, they miss the fact that there is the part of recognizing at the core what is it that is out of alignment with you, because what brings you the things that are for you is being in that alignment space. Okay, so yes, they can very much be cleared. So I'm going to do this beautiful guided activation, and then we'll see what else. I think I'm going to talk a little bit about April, because we are April 1st today. So we'll talk a little bit about April 1st, and then that'll be it for the show, because I've got to be on time for class. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Find a space that you can sit. So find a quiet space and gently close your eyes. We're going to take that slow breath in through our nose and out through our mouth, allowing your awareness to drop into your heart space. In and then out. Now we're going to bring our attention to the crown of our head, so right at the top of your head, and you're going to visualize a stream of crystalline light coming in through your crown. This is descending from your oversoul or coming from prime source. So you can see about 6 inches to a foot above your head is where the light is generating from, and that's your soul star chakra that it's coming through. So allow this beautiful crystalline light to pour into your mental body and your auric field, and this is like liquid diamond, golden light. Okay, so this beautiful liquid diamond golden light pouring through your entire body, through your mental, through your physical, through your emotional, through your auric field. Now this beautiful light is clearing and cleansing and purifying your space. This light is gently sealing that crystalline clarity from what we did earlier in this session. So let it weave through your synapses, through your spinal column, through your pineal gland and throat chakra, harmonizing your inner voice and divine perception. Just giving you a moment to allow that to move through your body, to move through those spaces, allowing you to synchronize and harmonize those spaces. Now we're going to begin to softly hum the sacred tone of So the frequency of is high, so it actually hits your crown chakra and your third eye. So to do this, we're just going to take a big breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to just do the okay? So and you can feel that's focused right into the head space. It's not driving down into your feet, it's up in your head because it's a higher frequency. So allow that beautiful vibration to resonate from your pineal gland to your throat and then ripple outward into your mental body, feeling the frequency stabilize your mental field and create coherence between thought, voice, and will. Another breath in. And one more, 3 for good measure. Big breath in. As the tone fades, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your forehead and speak aloud or internally, "My mind is my ally. My thoughts are aligned. My creation is clear. I now walk in divine mental sovereignty and crystalline truth. Then take a nice big final breath all the way down into your tummy. And as you exhale, see this beautiful field, this beautiful golden seal forming around your field, a mental shield of clarity, love, and divine wisdom. You are clear, you are sovereign, and you are free. Okay? Alrighty. How was that? How was that, guys? How did that feel? Looking for some sorry, I'm on TikTok as well, so some of the people on TikTok are chatting. Good, Cheryl, beautiful. So you can find this recording. It'll be on my YouTube channel at Anshara. It's just Anshara'El, so Ansharael, Anshara'El. And so you can redo that at any point in time. But now that you've done it once, you can do that visualization. Start with your breath, use light, right? That's what we're using when we're seeing that crystalline light. So we have our breath, we have light, and then we're using sound with the and then affirmations as well. Okay, so help you to get more clear within your mind. So let's look at the celestial gateway. Let's look at the celestial gateway. That's okay. You don't have to visualize it with absolute clarity. There are a lot of people that have what's called aphasia, which is, or I was like, is it aphasia? Is that when you can't speak? Aphasia. Anyway, aphasia I think is the swallowing. But where they can't visualize, and that's okay, as long as you're, yeah, exactly, you feel it, you don't necessarily see it, and that's okay. It's the intention and what you're setting into your field that is going to create what you're looking for. So let's look at our celestial alignment for today, because this is a powerful thing as well. Aw, I'm so happy that you feel better, sweetheart. Okay, so let's look at our celestial alignment, the true celestial alignment. Now, this is based on connecting with my oversoul, my guides, prime source, the Akashic records, and celestial archives. So I don't do the alignment. I don't talk about astrology the way that other people talk about astrology. This is more Christic astrology, because I'm looking at what the true meaning behind all of the distortions, because everything's distorted for us on earth right now. So I look at it through not everything. People are trying to bring the truth. But the tropical astrology and the current structure that is distorted enough so that it keeps us disconnected from our truth. So I like to talk about the truth. So April is all about the truth. The truth emerges, and frequency reveals what is false and cannot hold. And that's a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing. So today, the sun is in Aries at a 5 degrees to 6 degrees, and the solar current is activating truth-based action and clarity of direction. So today brings heightened intuitive clarity, especially for those who have been questioning, am I truly on the aligned path, or has something else been running on false fire? And you will feel what is off, and you will feel what is pure, right? You'll know. Something that's off feels constrictive, or it feels like your energy lowers. It can feel like a sinking feeling. It can feel tense or tight. But when you're feeling something that's true, it's going to resonate in a different way. And that resonance is going to come through expansiveness. It's going to be a rising of energy. It's going to be an opening. It's going to be not restrictive, right? So that's the way that you'll feel what's true or in alignment. It can bring you emotion, but if it brings you a lot of emotion, then it's potentially not in alignment as well. The moon is in Libra, and that means balance, justice, and relational dynamics come into full focus. So this alignment heightens energetic discrepancies in your relationship, especially those built on expectation rather than essence. You may find yourself naturally detaching from people, offers, or roles that no longer match your frequency. Oh, good. That's beautiful, Cheryl. Yep, I let it get a little cold, guys. I totally did. All right. The other thing we have is Venus and Saturn are energetic threading. So Venus, which is in Pisces, is harmonizing with Saturn, which is in Aquarius. So this is harmonization with visioning. And this creates that dream weaving stabilizer, an energy to refine your creations into something lasting, clear, and soul aligned. Now, the Earth's grid in April is opening with a frequency reveal. So anything built in alignment will begin to shake loose. So you're invited to hold your core frequency and walk through this month with inner clarity and firm light. So in the morning, you can ask yourself these questions, right? If nothing false could remain in my field, what would fall away? So this is not to do with you making any decisions. Not saying I'm going to cut that person out, or I'm going to cut that person out, or I'm going to cut that person out. Just ask yourself, if you could have nothing false in your field, what would fall away, and see what comes up. You can journal on this question throughout the day or throughout the month, every morning, kind of ask yourself, or you can just ask yourself today, journal on it, and then move forward from there. The other question to ask yourself, if only truth was allowed, what would I see clearly today? So that could be a really good daily one, right? If only truth was allowed, what would I see clearly today? And allow that truth to be revealed. Another thing that's encouraged is that within the middle of the day that you do some body movement. Now, body movement doesn't have to be I'm going to go and work out and pump weights for an hour, or I'm going to run a marathon. You can move yourself 5 minutes. You could do some dancing. You could do some swaying. You could do whatever you need to move your body. Go for a 20-minute walk. Or longer, whichever is aligned with you. Do some stretching, do some activity of some sort. Ask your body while you're doing this movement that you're allowing yourself to release what feels sticky or stuck, and ask your body where it's holding the truth and where it's holding back. So wherever you're feeling that tension within your body can give you some understanding about some of the things that maybe you're holding on to that you shouldn't be, or some energy that's dispersed within your energy field that you need to dissolve. In the evening, using sound, tuning forks, or even humming to align your auric field, sit in stillness and visualize a wave of pure harmonic light stabilizing every part of your field. So the crystalline light that we called in from our crown, having that come in and fill our entire auric field, which we talked about being a 6 to 9 foot circumference around you, depending on how expansive you are. So allow that to just move through your field, that beautiful golden white crystalline light. Allow that to move through your field, clarifying and purifying. Call your power back, enforce your boundaries, your energetic boundaries, right? Redo your shield. So you're calling back. You can even ask, are there any cords that I picked up today that I need to remove? Reveal them to me. And any cords that you see, call on Archangel Michael's sword, cut them, and then again, that beautiful sealing with that pure divine light, so that you're not leaving yourself open energetically. So we've got the shielding, calling our energy back. We've got, cleansing our field, all of that stuff happening for you. So our mantra for April, what is true shall remain. What is false shall fall. I anchor the frequency of divine truth within me. Okay, so that's your beautiful affirmations and mantra for today, or for April, for April. And that's that. That's all the content that I had to cover for today. So let's do some fun stuff. We don't normally do this, but let's, we haven't done this since I started the new structure, but let's do some cards. Let's do some cards. And because we've done all of this clearing, I'm using the Magdalene manifestation deck, and these are to create abundance through love. Okay, so I'm gonna pull a card for anyone that wants a card, and you'll see what you need to help you on your manifestation journey. Besides clearing the thoughts that are holding you back, or any of the subconscious programming that has you aligned with the wrong thing. Divine timing, perfect. Oh, and look at that. Perfect. Alrighty, so you got the Magdalene love being. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that. This is about being the love ambassador. So lead the evolution in consciousness from love. Graciously receive support from others, love beings, and source. So your thing is, how can you open up to receive more love today from others, from source? And sometimes it's just we're not opening ourselves to it. Hello, Ashanti. So allow yourself that opportunity to sit with love. You are love. You are love. You are the expression of love. And there's no mistakes, right? There's no mistakes. You weren't a mistake. Nobody was. So yeah, open yourself up to love. Woo! All right, so Cheryl. I was like, who is next? Cheryl. Okay, Cheryl. Can I get Cheryl? Heart sentience. Oh, put it that way. Heart sentience. I'm like, I have a funny feeling TikTok's just about to give me a, and it'll pop up with this little puzzle thing that I have to do. So I know I'm getting ready for it. I'm getting ready for it. Okay. So Cheryl, heart sentience, mega manifester. This is beautiful. Epic expansion is on the way. You are in a growth spurt, ripe and supported to realize your desires. So capitalize on that energy. And maybe you've been feeling it lately. You've been feeling things like the energy increasing or things happening. Just get clear with what you want, right? Get clear with what you want to bring into your world, and do these exercises of cleansing your thoughts and, looking at what is it that I really believe about things. So there's all types of writing that you can do, journaling on that, and looking at how do I feel about money? How do I feel about success? How do I feel about myself? How do I feel about what I'm trying to manifest? And are there programmings that I'm running underneath the underneath everything that are actually taking me off course from manifesting what I'm trying to manifest? Sorry, I just threw a whole bunch of cards all over the place. Give me a second. All right, Wonder Woman. Just whoa, right there. Source union. Okay, so source union. Resourced wealth. Be resourced. Connect with the source of all abundance and tap into the field of infinite possibilities. So connecting to, sometimes we're out in our world and we're running through life and we're trying to create things through our ego. Our ego is the one that wants us to create things because of what it's going to get in return, in the sense of, I'm going to do this so that I can make money. That's an egoic thing. When you're doing your divine mission or you're in alignment, you're just doing it because it's in alignment with you, because it's what drives you, because your heart feels full and expansive and you almost can't help it. You just have to do it. So when you're in that situation of running with the ego can be pushing you in a direction, chasing, say, money or whatever. So that's where we want to connect back in and be resourced. So connect back to source, or connect to what is it that I am trying to create and where is it coming from? Is it coming from a genuine alignment for me, or is it coming from an egoic thing of something that I'm trying to do because I think I need to have something? I need a big house because you need a big house, or I need to have lots and lots of money because you have to have lots and lots of money. But if that's the case, just understand where your motivation is coming from and align yourself with your truth. Okay, what lights you up? Yeah. Okay. All right, Ashanti. Ooh, Magdalene heart. So the Magdalene heart, circulate abundance. Love you, Wonder Woman. Your heart is adept at circulating resources. Gift, pool, and receive wealth with confidence at a higher octave. So this is all about us closing the door. If we're not giving or open to receiving, there's many of us that are very good with giving, but we are not so good with receiving, right? And it's because a lot of times what we received was stuff we did not want to receive. So we inherently have our walls up, or we've been taught to be givers through our upbringing, that you have to give and give and give and give and give, and you come last, right? How many of us had moms where everything came last to the mom, right? The mom was the last to get fed. The mom took the smaller portions. The mom, she did take care of everybody else. And then at the end of the day, if there's anything left over, she gave it to herself. So many of us were raised in environments where we watched that happen, and we became what our moms were, where we put everybody else's needs ahead of ours, and we were last on the list. So it's important to realize that when we're doing it, that we have to be willing to give. The other part is that when we get stagnant with circulating our gifts or circulating money or whatever it is, when we get stagnant on it and we're like holding on to it really, really tightly, that in and of itself signals to the universe that, or to God, let's skip the universe, it signals to prime source that you are afraid you're not going to get it back. That if you give this away, there's not going to be more, right? So if you have money, let's say, you might get not wanting to spend it because you're like, well, if I spend it, I don't know where more is coming from, so I can't. So then you get tight on that just is a signal of lack. So recognize that when you are in that space of knowing, right? When you spend, you know that it's going to be returned to you. Because you know that it's circulating, you know that you are going to, of course, receive. So that's what my guides are giving me for you. Does anybody else want a card? Because otherwise, I'm going to pop off here in a few minutes. I got a few minutes left to give a card. What about you, Elizabeth? Did you want a card? Or Morichi? Or I don't even know who's on right now. I'm just throwing names out there. Alrighty. No, we're good. Xandrian, perfect. Okay, what does Xandrian need to hear today? Woo, right away. Infinite Love Meridian. I love this one. Hi, guys. I got real up and close. All right. Infinite Love Meridian. Infinite supply. All abundance comes from the infinite supply of Source. Play bigger and claim your highest good. Sometimes we play too small, and that's where we lock ourselves out of our abundance. We think that, like if you were to say start a company, you might be like, ooh, if I could just make, like $1,000 in this month, right? And meanwhile, the universe is like, I wish she'd see herself making, $10,000 a month, because that's what we're ready to give her. If she could only just realize that she is able to handle that amount coming in, as an example. And it's a different way of looking at it. But sometimes we restrict ourselves from receiving what is meant for us because we don't think that we're worth that much, or we don't have ourselves open up to, to receiving the mass that is available to us. So open yourself up to receive more, because more is coming. But you have to believe that you're worthy of more. Okay? Okay? Yay! I'm so proud of you. I love you. I'm so proud of you. I see you on here occasionally. I'm not on TikTok all that much. I come on and I do my content and that's it. I'm not really scrolling. I had a wonderful opportunity to stop using my phone so much because my phone broke. So my phone just literally only works when it determines it's going to work for me. And so it allowed me the opportunity to, kind of curb some scrolling that I was doing. I was doing a bit too much scrolling, and so now I can only use it when it says that I can. That made it a little easier for me. But I don't see you as much as I used to see you, because I'm not on TikTok as much, but I still see you occasionally, and I'm so proud of you. Right? I know that stepping out, right? Like when we start off, like the truth is there. The truth is there. But many people are still so stuck on the lie. They hold it so fiercely, right? It's their belief system is so attached to it, so they're like, nah. This is not, they oppose it. And so many people have taught that if it's not what you think, or if it's not in alignment with what you like, then it's bad. Right? So we have all of these religious structures and stuff that, have been going on for a long time, that they, it's hard for us to step out on that ledge, which is indifferent, right? In that different space, that isn't the norm within society. To be the leaders in that wave it's fun. It's challenging. I should say it's challenging. All right. So Elizabeth, Magic of Love is yours, and this is crystal clarity. So you create your own magic. Empower yourself to go directly for what you desire with crystal clarity, right? So what do you want? Just make that your focus, and don't allow the noise in. I have changed so much in the last 6 months, and in this new space of bringing forward Anshara'El, and the rebrand of the company and the change and everything, and what I've opened up to with my gifts. It's been such a huge change, but I'm so focused now, but focused in a beautiful, like, loving, amazing energy. Like, I wake up every morning, every day, just with that passion for what I'm doing, for what I'm creating, for what I'm experiencing through the day. And that's what you need to do. Just cancel that stuff. Cancel your subscription to negativity. I say cancel it right now. Cancel your subscription to negativity. Right? Clear out anything in your environment that makes you feel bad. Doesn't matter if it's a person, place, or thing. Right? And yeah, just do the big summer blowout. Clear out all the negativity. It doesn't matter. People, places, things, does not matter. We are so silly in that we keep allowing people who treat us like crap, or we keep going to places that make us feel like crap, or we eat things or drink things that make us feel terrible. How many times I wasted getting, and I wasn't a big drinker, but I did drink a number of times where I had really bad hangovers. And it's like, why would I do that to feel crappy? Why did I drink to make myself feel so gross? And so, but we do those things all the time, right? So it's really, yeah, just get yourself into alignment, friend. And then everything aligns with you. And manifestation is then, there's no work in it. It's just, you're in alignment, so it naturally flows. Okay? I love you guys very much. The recording will be on my YouTube channel, Anshara'El. If you were following me before, then the link should still say, you'd still be following me on those things. But if you haven't been following me, just to let you know that everything has changed. The website, I still have the mindbodyspiриthealthyself.com. It redirects you to Anshara'El.com for now, but that is the new stuff. So I love you guys. You'll see that there was a change in this in my TikTok and YouTube as well, so that it is now Anshara'El and not Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self. So just so you know that, please go and check out my new website. Let me know what you think. I put a lot of work into it, created it myself. Oops, I got to do my puzzle. I told you it was coming up. I was just a little sooner than I thought it was coming up a little while ago. I got it. I did it. I did it. Do go and look at the books that I have available on Amazon. Remember that some of them are under Tanya Baldwin, but that I do have on Anshara'El.com. The social links are on my website, so that you can access my author pages on Amazon for both of those names that I publish under. And if you're looking for services, I have individual services, I have group programs. If you're on the website, please join the Temple of Light. It is a free membership, or is a free group where I post a bunch of things in there. And there's other group programs that are available as well. And do check out my other channel, One Truth Sets You Free, on YouTube and TikTok. And the content that I put there is revealing the truths, the real truths about the world, about life, about money, about the illusions that we're living in, all of it. And there is public teaching things that I do there, which help you with activations and clearings and guided meditations, and so much more. So please go and check out that and support me. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Have a beautiful day. And for those of you that are in the Bridge to Light Phase 1, I will see you promptly at noon for Day 1, Session 1 of this beautiful 6-week course. Mwah. And for those of you that aren't a part of that, look for it when it drops as a download. Love you guys. I'll see you on Thursday. Have a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday and Wednesday.